Good evening, thank you for joining us on the War Diary. On the 400th day of the war, here are the main highlights of today at 7 p.m. Beirut time. We begin with the situation in Lebanon, where violence continues to escalate. Israeli airstrikes have targeted several regions, causing devastating consequences for civilians. In the south of the country, the city of Tyre was particularly affected. A series of Israeli raids killed 17 people, including a pregnant woman and a child. 38 other people were injured. Rescue teams are still searching through the rubble as local authorities report massive destructions in several neighborhoods. In the city of Nabatiyeh, strikes destroyed residential building in the Maslah district, killing at least one person and injuring 3 others. Also, Beirut's southern suburb, a regular target of Israeli raids, were bombarded 14 times overnight. These strikes hit the areas near the Lebanese University in the Hadat district, as well as the neighborhoods of Burj el-Barajne, Haret al-Hek, and Jammus. Until now, no victims have been reported from these 14 strikes. Rural areas have not been spared. In the Bekaa region, the strikes on Lebaya killed 9 people, while another person died in the city of Shahabiyeh in South Lebanon. In Yohmor al-Shekif, artillery shelling destroyed homes, but no injuries were reported so far. In the south of the country, Hezbollah continues to retaliate against the Israeli army. Several of its missiles targeted the Israeli military positions, triggering alarms in Kiryat Shmona and in the north of the Galilee. Clashes between Hezbollah and the Israeli army are intensifying, with crossfire causing significant material damage on both sides of the border. Concerning the humanitarian toll since the beginning of the war as of 7 p.m. Beirut time, in Palestine, the health ministry reports that 43,552 people have been killed, with more than 100,000 people injured. Among the victims, we have 17,385 children. In Lebanon, the health ministry reported that the Israeli airstrikes have resulted in 3,117 deaths and another 13,888 people injured since the beginning of the conflict on the 8th October 2023. The south of the country remains the primary theater of hostilities, but strikes are also affecting the Bekaa Valley, notably the city of Baalbek, and also Beirut's southern suburbs. Now in Palestine, the situation in Gaza remains dire. Since dawn, 40 Palestinians have been killed, including 24 in the north of the region. Among those victims are 2 journalists killed in a strike on Gaza City. Furthermore, an Israeli airstrike flattened the Asma school, which is located in the Al-Shati refugee camp. The school served as a refuge for displaced families. Rescue services reports heavy casualties and severe injuries. This attack adds to a growing list of strikes targeting civilian infrastructures, including hospitals and schools. Now, the Israeli army justifies this attack by claiming that Hamas uses this location for military purposes, an allegation that the Islamist movement vehemently denies. Meanwhile, the international community remains largely silent on this violation of international humanitarian law. Now, on the diplomatic front, the main news is that Qatar is pausing its ceasefire mediation between Israel and Hamas, a diplomatic source says. Also, the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warned that the conflict could extend far beyond the Middle East if a swift resolution is not found. In a statement, he emphasized that insecurity and instability could spread to other regions, even those far from the Middle East. Iran, which condemns the Israeli airstrikes that happened recently on its military facilities as a violation of its sovereignty, is hoping that the new administration of the newly elected US President Donald Trump is going to alleviate a bit of the sanctions. Meanwhile, clashes between Israel and Hezbollah are escalating. The Lebanese armed group has launched dozens of strikes against Israeli positions in the north of the country in response to the ongoing Israeli attacks. For its part, Israel continues its intensive air campaign against the alleged Hezbollah targets in Beirut's southern suburb and the south of the country. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for another recap. Until then, you stay updated on our website www.thisisbeirut.com.lb and on all our social media. Thank you.